Yes, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine. Yes, good morning, Boaz. Good morning, Boaz. I see you this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, they call me Tony Murigi, aka the Celebrities Host. Welcome to an amazing day of this amazing show. Inaitwa Amka Kenya, kila siku ya Monday to Thursday, Monday to Friday from 6 to 10 a.m. Asubuhi kipekee, asubuhi ambayo imejaa habari za michezo, habari za siasa, fun-filled conversation, entertainment, lakini pia ndani yake kuna social conversation. Na siko peke yangu leo, tuko wawili ndani ya mjengo. Anaitwa nani?
Ian Kitani is my name. I'm a bit saddened Rem is not here today.
Yes, the other day uliniacha.
No, be specific. Ukisema nilikuacha, just please.
Well,
contextualize.
Kwanza pole sana by the way, ulikuwa mgonjwa, si ndio? Because the other day it was on Tuesday, Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday.
Tuesday ulikuwa mgonjwa kidogo pia, lakini I hope sasa unafeel aje?
Very good.
Mambo shwari, si ndio?
Kabisa.
Lakini this morning wanna say quick recovery to our colleague that is Rem Majala ambaye siku ya jana alipata maumivu kidogo, si ndio? But we wish her quick recovery this morning, si ndio? Lakini we hoping kwamba mambo yatakuwa fiti sana, and the next week you shall see her back ndani ya show in the morning. Mzamaji, siku ya leo ni siku ya kipekee manake huenda milioni ya pili kaingia katika timu ya Harambee Stars iwapo watagonga Angola. Today we have the biggest match ndani ya group. Ni group A ama group D?
Yes, group A.
Group A ndani ya michezo ya CHAN, na ni kwamba iwapo Kenya wataizabanga. Sema kuzabanga. Kuizabanga.
Kuichabanga.
Kuizabanga.
Kuizabanga.
Iwapo Kenya wataizabanga Angola siku ya leo, kila mchezaji atakuwa anapata milioni yake ya pili. And we saw the other day statement from Hussein, that is the State House spokesperson, kwamba they got the first one si ndio?
In fact, State House walitoa 42 million.
Yeah.
For the 27 players
and the technical bench. Sindio?
Yes.
Now, your prediction kama Ian Kitani, usiku wa leo saa moja, Kenya itakuwa inachuana katika mechi ya pili ya group matches na Angola. What do you think? Because on Sunday itakuwa ni mbaya because Kenya itakuwa inachuana na Morocco. But before we go to Sunday, let's focus on today, 7 p.m. Kenya versus Angola, second match ya group matches.
I can tell you what, it will be a very difficult game. I'm hoping for a mouth-watering clash.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, after watching Kenya in the opening game, I feel like the first half, we were pretty good. Second half, we were a bit slow, sluggish. But I hope we'll win today. I hope I'll make it there. I'm not so sure. Remy alituambia by there atakuwa huko. Remy, I hope. I know you're sick, but if you make it, please do let us know.
Ningumu. All right.
We need that support.
Kabisa.
Utakuwa huko?
Mimi nitakuwa huko saa moja leo by the way, and you know one thing, the first match nilikosa, lakini hii match ya pili ya Kenya na Angola nita make sure kwamba sijakosa niweze kusupport Kenya. Though nasikia tiketi zimeisha, but it was ironic because at the end of the day, last match they said kwamba tiketi zimeisha, lakini tukaona kwamba viti vilikuwa empty. So kulikuwa na maswali mengi sana na let's see today itakuwaje saa moja because Kenya itakuwa inachuana na Angola katika mechi ya pili ya group A ya michuano ya CHAN. Apart from that pia leo ni siku ya kipekee manake leo ni bike to work day. Labda nisikia from Kitani, je, ushaipeleka baskeli? Because today it is whereby bike to work day is an annual event that promotes the bicycle as an option for commuting to work. It is held in the spring in a variety of locations including USA, Canada, Europe, Asia and Africa.
Tell you what, nikiwa mdogo, I think nilikuwa class 7.
Bado upo mdogo ndugu.
Nilikuwa kijana mdogo. So ile trip uko ukisoma kwa mashinani kuna trip mnalipa sijui 5,000 kuja Nairobi mpelekwe parliament mpelekwe wapi. So I told my mom, no, I don't want to go. Just buy me a bike.
Amazing.
Yes.
So zile pesa ambazo zilikuwa zitumike kwa trip ukasema
buy a bike.
Amazing.
But sasa sikutaka ile siji mountain bike, you know, fancy ones, Black Mamba. Unajua Black Mamba?
Black Mamba naijua sana.
Bas, habari ndio hiyo.
Watu wa Kakamega wanaelewa.
But you know, it's interesting because we have not only countries, you know, across, you know, the western parts of this globe that focuses on, you know, riding days. We have countries like Rwanda in Africa where kuna siku magari zingi kwa barabara.
Ni kweli.
You have to ride
to work.
Kabisa. Kama sivyo utembee.
Kabisa.
Which I believe it's a good culture because it's also, you know, trying to take care of the environment as well.
Ni kweli.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes, but apart from that, today we have an action pack for you. This particular morning, Amka Kenya is always here to give you a head start. On politics today, we focus on the state of affairs in the country. What is working, what is not. At what point do leaders turn against the electorate? I'll be speaking to former Minister Kipruto Arap-Kirwa this particular morning, but as well before that, I'll be joined by Ruth Kinyanjui, an economist and an analyst for Amka Twende Varo.
Mtazamaji, siku ya leo I will be sitting in for my colleague that is Remy Majala. We'll be discussing empowering the African story. We'll be speaking to Kairu Karega and Kinuthia SK this morning. That is from 8 to 9 on Amka Vibe Check. Lakini pia from 9 to 10 I will be here with Nkirotewa Nyeusi. Lakini pia nitakuwa naye Jaber just highlighting the trending topics on Amka Trend Talk. Siku ya leo we shall be giving you the story of the heated exchange, heated argument between Koku Luanga and Daddy Mato. Jana kuliwaka pale Instagram. Daddy Mato saying enough is enough. The gloves are off and I'm ready to die on this hill. Those were sentiments yesterday ambazo zilitolewa naye Daddy Mato akisema kwamba mambo ya brand wacha ishe. Let me just come back na niweze kusema ukweli. So from 9 to 10 I'll be telling you what happened, the genesis mpaka mwisho wa this relationship between Daddy Mato and Koku Luanga. Kumewaka na ni moto. So tulia, enjoy na ujue kipi ambacho kilifanyika.
I'll of course be tuned in to listen to that because someone close to me was trying to explain to me the entire situation yesterday, and I was like, I don't know what is happening in the Kenyan entertainment space with celebrities and all that. Something
I have learned about when you listen to story, taking sides. Mi wanasema ni kwamba I have tested employment and I have tested unemployment. What I can advise, fear God. Yeah.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, says the good book. But now, following the argument on Amka this particular morning, following the argument made in March, President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga did agree to have created a 5-member committee to implement their 10-point agenda. Now, former Senator Agnes Zani will chair the committee. Its purpose is to oversee the execution of a memorandum of understanding signed on March 7th by the United Democratic Alliance and the Orange Democratic Movement. The MOU's key objectives are to promote national unity and address major governance and economic issues. This include fully implementing the National Dialogue Committee report, that is NADCO, empowering youth, combating corruption, strengthening devolution, and upholding constitutional principles. The other committee members are Fatuma Ibrahim, Kevin Kiarie, Gabriel Oguda, as well as analyst Javas B. Gambo.
All right, this here, in this committee, the committee will commence its work immediately and will be submitting the progress to the principals, that is every 2 months, that is to the Raila Odinga and William Ruto after every 2 months, and to a joint committee that is on Kenya Kwanza and ODM parliamentary group on a quarterly basis. The parliamentary group will hold its first sitting on August 18, 2025. A final comprehensive report detailing the status of MOU's implementation will be released to the public on the March 7, 2026, making the 1-year anniversary of its signing. Kuna Wakenya wengi ambao wameweza kutoa reaction zao kuhusiana na this committee. Ni committee ambayo itakuwa ina oversee the implementation of the 10-point agenda. Lakini pia, just to mention one more time, the committee, it will be involving Agnes Nzani, who will be the chairperson, Fatuma Ibrahim, the member, Kevin Kiarie, who will be also the member of the committee, and also Gabriel Oguda, who will be the member, and Javas Migambo, who will be as well the member. Now, let me now take a look at some of the comments of Kenya in reaction to this, the kubuniwa kwa hii committee ambayo itakuwa ina oversee the implementation of the 10-point agenda. And just as my colleague Ian said, kuna couple of things ambazo wanaongelea on the full implementation of the NADCO report, ambayo later on Ian Kitani will be telling us what exactly NADCO inasema ndani yake. Inclusivity in all spheres of public life, protecting and strengthening devolution, promoting and protecting the livelihood of the youth, all right, Gen Z, leadership and integrity, the national debt, fighting against corruption, among others. All right, now let me take a look at some of the comments, Ian, and then nikishapitia hizo comments online, I'll be coming back. Ueleze Mkenya from A to Z. Ndani ya NADCO report, kipi ambacho walikuwa wanaangazia exactly, si ndio?
Yeah, but of course, this particular committee has been formed at a time when the broad-based government continues to be criticized by many people. Many, of course, include those from the opposition side of the government. And it's very interesting because this committee, like you said, is expected to submit its final report on the first anniversary of the broad-based arrangement between Raila Odinga and President William Ruto.
That is in March 7th, 2026.
Yes.
All right. I have some some of the comments from Kenya. I'll be starting with this one from my phone. Charlie says on Twitter, let's hope that the team prioritizes transparency, accountability, and real impact in the lives of ordinary citizens. The people are watching. Let actions speak louder than words. Being Charlie on Twitter says, in regards to the kubuniwa kwa implementation committee ya 10-point agenda. We have a comment from Chris Mwasike who says, written noise. If nothing has happened in 5 months, how is a committee without executive power going to make a difference? A comment from Chris Mwasike this morning. Let's go to the last comment. Gahawa Thungu says, this is another political conmanship, nothing new in it. The principles and ideals which ODM stood for has been neutralized by UDA. Drink your soup slowly. Kenyans have moved on. That's a comment from Gahawa Thungu in regards to the whole story, Jana.
Well, before we just jump straight to the 5 things that you need to know, it is interesting because the NADCO report was born during the height of the Azimio anti-government demonstrations in 2023. That particular committee, of course, was chaired by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and majority leader in the National Assembly, that is Kimani Ichung'wah. As it stands today, 2 years later, Kimani Ichung'wah is on the same side with Raila Odinga, who then was leading the Azimio team. But Kalonzo Musyoka, who co-chaired that particular committee with him, is still in opposition. It will be interesting to see how that particular implementation and the committee, will go about it, and whether Kalonzo Musyoka and the team will of course, do, and whether they will agree with what the committee will focus on or not. But now, to the 5 things that you need to know this morning. And a military helicopter crash in Ghana has claimed the lives of all 8 people on board, including the country's defense and environment ministers. The aircraft A79 utility helicopter went off the radar shortly after taking off from the capital, Accra. An investigation into the cause of the crash is already underway.
Well, ni katika baadhi ya watu ambao waliaga dunia wako wengi sana, na nitakuwa nasoma list yao in a few. That is tuko na Dr. Edward Kofi, that is Minister of Defense, ambaye aliaga dunia kutoka hiyo plane crash, that is helicopter crash. Tuko na Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohamed, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology in Ghana. Alhaji Muniru Mohamed, AG Deputy National Security Coordinator. Dr. Samuel Sapong, among others, who died in the helicopter crash siku jana katika taifa la Ghana. Now niko na statement ambayo Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ambaye ni rais wa Nigeria, ametoa baada ya kuaga dunia kwa hao watu kutoka taifa la Nigeria. And this morning says, I extend my heartfelt condolences to my brother President John Mahama, the government and the people of Ghana on the tragic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of Defense Minister and others. This is a deeply painful moment for our Ghanaian brothers and sisters. These men died in the line of duty, serving their own nation with honor and courage. That is a statement ambayo Bola Tinubu Ahmed, rais wa Nigeria, alitoa kama risala za rambirambi kwa taifa la Ghana baada ya kuwapoteza zaidi ya maafisa wa serikali 6.
Now, also, Kenya's Basic Education Permanent Secretary, Julius Bitok, has issued a fresh directive ordering a crackdown on school buses operating outside the stipulated hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, the directive, which was first implemented in 2018, follows a number of accidents involving school transport. And officials have been ordered to be vigilant in enforcing that particular rule. Now, apart from that, as well, the other thing that you need to know this morning is that in response to a recent BBC Africa Eye documentary titled Madams, which exposed child exploitation in Nakuru County's Maimayu area, the National Police Service has issued a statement. The NPS has deployed a multi-agency team, including specialists from the Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Protection Unit to the area. They have taken statements from several people and have initiated steps to rescue, support and protect the affected children while investigations and prosecuting the perpetrators. The NPS emphasized its commitment to safeguarding children in line with Article 53, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution and Section B of the Children's Act. They also noted the establishment of a dedicated forensic cybercrime unit that works with Interpol's International Child Sexual Exploitation Database to combat online child exploitation.
Well, ni story ambayo niliona na iliniumiza sana, maana mwisho wa siku kwanza tupigie makofi wanahabari wote ambao kila siku wanakuja asubuhi kuweza kufanya kazi ya kuweza kuwafahamisha Wakenya. Lakini I think uliona video, umeona the whole story ya BBC documentary, na ni kitu ambacho kinaumiza sana. Ani uchumi umefanyia tukafika hapa, ama what kind of a life you are living kama binadamu?
It's a saddening state of affairs. I wouldn't really want to say what my thoughts are in regards to that particular story, but I hope the relevant authorities can really take this up and ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book, because for a country like Kenya, a country which is a beacon of not only democracy but is looked at not only by the continent but by the globe, it really is concerning, and we need to sort out these issues and ensure that we bring such heinous crimes and perpetrators of these acts to book.
Mtazamaji, before niweze kusoma story next, ningependa nikuulize ulikuwa wapi August 7, 1998, all right? I'll be posing the same question to my brother here, Kitani, aniambie where he was in 1998, August 7. Now, today marks the memorial of the August 7th, 1998, the terrorist attack, all right? Ian Kitani? All right? The today.
Yes.
20, how many years?
27, I guess.
All right.
Yes, 27 years.
All right, let me pick it again with the story.
Yes.
Now, today marks the memorial of the August 7th, 1998 terrorist attack on the U.S. embassies in Nairobi, Kenya, and Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. The nearly simultaneous truck bombing orchestrated by Al-Qaeda killed over 200 people, most of them Kenyan citizens, and injured 1,000 more. A memorial park now stands at the site of Nairobi bombing to the honor of the victims. Najua wengi wetu mimi na tulikuwa tunazaliwa that time, si ndio? But wacha tutasikia from our guest na Fia tuambie where she was on 7th August 1998.
Well, fair enough. But finally, on the fifth thing that you need to know this particular morning, the Senate Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations will today convene at Bunge Towers. The agenda for the meeting includes deliberations with the Inspector General of Police, that is Douglas Kanja, the Directorate of the Criminal Investigations, and the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. They will be discussing the circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while in police custody right here at the Central Police Station in Nairobi.
Ni kweli. Mtazamaji, now before even cross over to the newspaper review, allow us this morning, we pose the question of the day, then you can be part of this amazing conversation. Send in your feedback using hashtag that is Amka Kenya at Ian Keitani, Tony Mwirigi K24, then utuambie maoni yako ni yapi kuhusiana swali la siku. Na hili hapa ndilo swali letu la siku, mtazamaji. Do you think the new ODM and UDA team will help solve Kenya's challenge as per the NADCO report? Mtazamaji, jana tumeona kuna kamiti ambayo iliundwa ku oversee the implementation of the 10-point agenda, lakini swali ambalo tunakuuliza asubuhi ya leo, do you think the new UDA and ODM team will help solve Kenya's challenge as per the NADCO report? Now, we have seen the whole story. Na ni kwamba tumeona ni kwamba kuna baadhi ya wanachama ambao waliweza kuteuliwa kutoka pande zote mbili. Kuna Agnes Zani, Fatuma Ibrahim, Kelvin Kiari, Gabriel Oguda and Javas Migambo. This morning, utuambie, do you think the new ODM and UDA team will help solve Kenya's challenge as per the NADCO report? Ian.
Well, fair enough. That, of course, will also form basis of our conversation this particular morning in regards to what the committee will be able to do. Remember, it is almost 5 months now since President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga did enter into a pact that saw the formation of the broad-based government. I know some quarters do call it the broad-based government, but that is in regards to those in the opposition coalition. But before we get to that particular conversation, we'll be looking at what the local dailies are saying this particular morning on Amka Twende Viral, and we'll be looking at our very own The People Daily, as well as The Standard and The Daily Nation in regards to the state of affairs here in the country. And I'm still here with Tony, but we're joined by Ruth Kinyanjui, who is a governance and economics expert. A very good morning to you.
Good morning, Ian.
It's a pleasure to have you this morning.
Same here.
Karibu sana K24 asubuhi ya leo.
Good morning.
Yes, one more time.
Yeah.
There is a comment ambayo nilisoma asubuhi from a Kenyan who said, written noise, if nothing has happened in the last 5 months, how is a committee without executive power going to make a difference? From the whole story ya kamati ambayo ilibuniwa jana kuweza kuangalia implementation ya 10-point agenda. What's your take from huyu Mkenya ambaye anasema hivi kwenye unasimama this morning?
I think one of the things that Kenyans are looking at is accountability, and for the longest, and especially when it comes to the current affairs and what is happening whether in government and all that. And maybe Kenyans haven't felt like implementation or the work is really going on. And I think even as committee, because many committees have been formed previously, but the results maybe haven't come out to the public. We do not know whether they have happened behind the closed door, but what has come out to the public to show that things are really happening. And I think we are known to be very good with talks, with meetings, with committees, with everything strategy, but not anything implementation. And maybe that's where that Kenyan is coming from.
All right, Ian.
Well, fair enough. I beg we begin with the People Daily, and like you can see on the front page on the screen is that the headline this morning is "The Nation of Dirty Cash." They say government entities such as the National Treasury, the Ministries of Agriculture and Mining, and even religious institutions flagged as key players in enabling the cleanup of illicit money. That is a story on page 4. And they go ahead to say, patterns of questionable dealings and poor accountability underscore urgent need for stronger enforcement. They say Kenya continues to grapple with mounting public debt, inadequate service delivery, and persistent poverty. These patterns of questionable financial flows and poor accountability underscores the urgent need for transparency and all that. Now, Ruth Kinyanjui, as an economist, when we talk about transparency, there have been issues in regards to also debt transparency. And here they say institutions such as the Institute of Public Finance, that is IPF, and economists have raised alarms over about the government's continued failure to publish updated reports on the country's public debt, a lapse viewed as a serious loophole for IFTs. Now, there are concerns about the country's debt, and some say these are odious debts. How are this, lack of debt transparency, aiding all this illicit financial flows?
I was just looking at some of even the reports that were being published by the Auditor General, and you can tell one of the biggest thing that we have in Kenya, and maybe the headline today outline what really happens. Whenever anything is not transparent, is actually viewed as dirty, because Kenyans do not know what's really happening, even to the things that really concern them. Something like debt that you've mentioned, and maybe the Treasury and other ministries, that things have never been brought to book or transparency has never come across. And one of the contentious issues that we have had in Kenya is debt that continues to amount over the years, and actually that is really actually affecting the future of this country. And those things have never been brought to book in a way that Kenyans feel they're transparent. I know there's another committee that was formed a few months ago, or was it a year ago, about the to audit the debt, the Kenyan debt. But still, even with that, many months later, nothing has been brought to the hands or to the public domain that this is what Kenyans owe. And you see what happens with that, then it continues to be a gray area, meaning that still other loans can still continue being taken, and others can still continue being added. But also, for those who know what is really happening, it can be also a gap where they feel they can take more additional loans without even Kenyans' knowledge. And that is the problem, because if a loan is taken and they cannot, no economic sense can be perceived or seen, then that is really, really accountability, and whether good or bad, still can be viewed as dirty money.
Ni kweli. Katika hili gazeti, that is People Daily, page 4 and 5, wameweza kuangazia ahadi ambazo rais amekuwa akizimake kwa watu mbalimbali. The reason being the CHAN, michuano ya CHAN kwa Harambee Stars, the 42 million, lakini pia kwa makanisa, amekuwa kwa muda mrefu akienda kwa makanisa, akitoa ahadi za pesa kwa makanisa kujenga na kuweza kuchangia miradi ya kanisa. Lakini pia we've seen the Deputy President in Tana River and other places akiweza kutoa pesa in what they're saying it is economic empowerment. Now, the question number wa Kenya wanauliza, hizi pesa zinatoka wapi, all right? And that's the biggest question. I think you will be telling us kwa maoni yako after this short commercial break. Ian.
Yeah, we'll take a brief breather here on Amka Kenya. We'll be back with Ruth Kinyanjui, a governance and an economics expert right here on Amka Kenya. Do stay with us.